You're listening
You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the Fresh Takes.
podcast.
Welcome, everybody. You're listening to another episode of the Fresh Takes podcast. I am one-third of your host, Tim, alongside my two favorite co-hosts, Pat and Tank. And boy, do we have a big episode for you guys. How's everybody doing on this fine Labor Day Monday afternoon?
I'm doing great, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm so unprepared for this week's episode, and I do apologize to the fans. So yeah, there's that. But I did have a great afternoon. I went swimming and hung out with my family. And now I'm really trying to talk my wife into letting me get a motorcycle.
Oh.
All right, then. What about you, Pat?
Chill day. I went and saw a matinee with the girlfriend like usual. Saw Retribution starring Liam Neeson. There's no plot to that movie. There's no plot to that movie.
I went to work for a little bit, and then I went yard sale shopping with my wife.
Good day for yard sale.
All right. So, if you did not see last Wednesday, we had our first ever live stream. And what did we live stream? We live streamed our fantasy draft. So, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so you all can see. The very first person is me. So, I have Trevor Lawrence, James Conner, Cam Akers, Tyreek Hill, and Justin Jefferson, which are my keepers from last year. James Conner was also a keeper from last year. I didn't really have too many running backs that I could use. Then I have TJ Hawkinson because I tried using a strategy that did not work. I have Michael Pittman, and then on my bench I got Joe Burr, Khalil Herbert, DeAndre Swift, Drake London, Adam Thielen, Dallas Goedert, and then I have Jason Myers in the Buffalo defense. Now we're going to go down to the WV Roughnecks. And if you can see the screen there, buddy, you want to go ahead and go over your team?
Yeah, so I can't remember what my first pick was. I can't remember who my keepers were. I'm sorry that I am so unprepared for this week's episode. But let's go ahead and get down with it. I had Geno Smith, David Montgomery.
Hold on. Your first pick was Devonta Smith.
Oh, was that my first one? Okay,
yeah,
so
and then you took Kenneth Walker.
Which I know you wanted Kenneth Walker, I think, didn't you?
Well, so, I wasn't sure because his injury, and then they got that rookie, so I wasn't sure if I really wanted him or not.
But let's get right back into it. I had Geno Smith, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Tyler Higbee, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Rodgers as a backup, Dalvin Cook as a backup, Raheem Mostert as a backup, Marquise Brown, DJ Moore, and Dawson Knox, and Tyler Bass as my kicker, with Green Bay as my defense.
I don't know how I feel about Green Bay's defense because I'm sure they're going to be turning the ball over a lot, so they're going to have to be holding back people from scoring a lot.
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I waited till like the very, very last to pick up my defense and kick it. So,
all right, now we got Darius Slay, my Potosi.
I'm glad you said it, so I don't have to say my atrocious team name. DJ was one of my keepers. Okay? Solid fantasy quarterback, gets you rushing yards. Had the wide receiver trio as the keepers as well: Hopkins, Higgins, and Diggs. So I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, Najee Harris. I drafted.
Got Evan Ingram.
We'll see if I put him in over DJ at all. Tank Bigsby, Breece Hall. Got both Ravens receiver breakout. Bateman also might have a surprise year. But we'll see if I can slot him in at tight end to get some points.
I didn't even know Will Lutz went to Denver.
Yeah, they traded for him, and then it's like a Peyton reconnection. I'm like, he has to score a lot of points there.
All right. So we we went over our over and unders, and we went and we did the what is it, our playoff bracket prediction type thing. So we actually put it into this website that made our bracket for us. So we will go over our brackets. I'll go ahead and I'll start. And, through the magical power of editing, right there is a post of my bracket, which, yes, surprisingly, I have Jacksonville winning the Super Bowl. How do you guys feel?
I mean,
Hey, I feel like they'll be one of the top two AFC seeds, so it's not like
Yeah.
they're going to be a bad team, but it is weird to think that Jacksonville could be a Super Bowl contender.
But it came out, I had
so
Kansas City at the 1 seed, Buffalo at the 2, Jacksonville at the 3, Bengals at the 4, Jets at the 5, Chargers at the 6, and Ravens at the 7. I didn't think Ravens were making it in mine, but they did sneak in. So I have then Bengals beating the Jets, Jaguars beating the Chargers again, and the Bills beating the Ravens. And then I have Jaguars over Bills, Bengals over Chiefs, and then Jaguars beating the Bengals to make it to the Super Bowl. And then on the other side, I have at the number 1 seed the Eagles because it's going 14-3. Seahawks at 2, Vikings at 3, Saints at 4, Niners at 5, Lions at 6, and Giants at 7. I have the Niners beating the Saints, Vikings beating the Lions, and unfortunately Seattle beating the Giants. Then I have the Vikings going on to beat Seattle, the Niners shocking the Eagles, and then the Vikings actually beating the 49ers to have Vikings versus Jaguars, and the Jaguars win their very first Super Bowl.
go ahead, Pat. I'm gonna let you do yours. I'll do mine in a minute.
But
That
I
was
want
the
to say
first
that
time I heard that full
my
prediction.
very first prediction that I was going to have before going through all of this, I had that it would be the 49ers versus the Bengals. So,
I mean,
which I had Bengals versus Miami as the championship, and then Niners versus the Saints in the championship. Which you can see how drastically mine has changed. But all right, Pat, yours is now on the screen.
Is it on the screen?
Yeah, through editing.
So, yeah, my first, we'll start with the AFC side. First seed, Kansas City. Second seed, Jacksonville, both at 12-5 records. 3 seed, Cleveland. 4 seed, Buffalo. 5 seed, Pittsburgh. 6, Tennessee. And 7, the Chargers. Sets up a Buffalo-Pittsburgh round 1 matchup. Pittsburgh beating them. Cleveland, Tennessee. I have Cleveland winning. Jacksonville and the Chargers. I have the Jaguars beating the Chargers as well, Tim. Then you go into the next round. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh beating Cleveland. I have Jacksonville and Kansas City playing, and Kansas City making it to yet another AFC championship, where they will lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Mike Tomlin will show once again why he's a top 3 all-time coach.
When you sent that, I was so blown away that you just gave Pittsburgh.
Got a lot of hype. I'm a believer, I guess. So NFC side, we have the Eagles as the 1 seed, Seattle as the 2, Detroit as the 3, Carolina winning that division as the 4 at 9-8. New York Giants as the 5 seed, the 49ers as the 6, and yes, the Washington Commanders making the playoffs as a 7 seed. Round 1 matchup, Seattle versus Washington. Seattle takes it. San Fran and Detroit. Detroit takes it. Let's see here. Carolina and New York Giants. Yes, the Giants will beat the Panthers. And then Move on to the next round. You got the Eagles and Giants. It's just a tough matchup for the Giants.
Yeah.
Like, it's unfortunate, but I have the Eagles winning. And then I have what should be one of the greatest playoff games of all time, the Lions and Seahawks, if it pans out like these teams could be. But I have Detroit winning, making it a Detroit-Philadelphia championship, with Philly advancing to the Super Bowl, having a Pennsylvania Super Bowl. And the Eagles winning, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I
All
mean,
right, Tank.
I can't believe. I just can't believe that it's going to be a Pennsylvania showdown Super Bowl. Sorry, I really can't believe it.
I mean, it'd be
But
cool, and there was the chance of it last year, but well, not yet last year, like 2 years ago when it was everybody thought that those were the two teams, but I don't know. I still think the Steelers are a little too young and not ready. But hey, oh well. All right, Tank, what you got?
so from my when I did the little link that you sent out to do it, so when we talked about it, I had different records for all these teams. And now it's totally completely different. But for the AFC, I'm gonna go through my 1 through 7. Jags at 13-4 with the number 1 seed. Number 2 seeds, the Buffalo Bills at 13-4. The Bengals at 3 seed, 12-5. Chiefs at number 4 seed, 12-5. Ravens are the wild card at 12-5. Number 6 seed, which is the Titans at 12-5. And number 7, rounding it out, Chargers at 10-6.
Damn, how many 12-5 teams do you got?
I got a lot, which is weird. For the NFC side, I had the number 1 seed, the Eagles, 14-3. Number 2, 49ers, 14-3. Number 3 seed, Detroit Lions at 11-6. Number 4 seed is the Falcons, 9-8. Number 5 seed is the Cowboys, 12-4. Number 6 seed is the Seahawks at 11-6. And then the number 7 seed, rounding it out, is the New York Giants at 10-7.
Hold on, can we take a step back?
Yes.
Why is Dallas 12-4?
Did I read it wrong?
So you said Dallas 12-4. Do they just not play a game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
They got 2 buys.
It says 12-4. I don't know why. Division, they're 5-1, but
so you must have missed a game in there.
Yeah, must have. So we're gonna go 12. We're gonna go them 12-5 then.
Yeah, to go on with your 8 other teams.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I can't remember what teams played what area because I'm not going to go into that depth. But for the AFC Championship game, I have the Jaguars versus the Bengals. The Jaguars winning that, going to the Super Bowl. And for the NFC, I have the Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles win that one, setting up a Jaguars-Eagles Super Bowl, which is what you predicted last year. And I have the Jaguars winning the Super Bowl this year.
Actually, if we're correct, I predicted Chargers and Eagles. I just said after week 3, it looked like it would be Jaguars, Eagles.
Yeah, but I'm giving you the credit, the doubt of credit, whatever you want to call it, that you call Jaguars and Eagles.
But hey, I mean, no matter the way you look at it, I got the Eagles right last year.
Yeah, I can't even remember what I picked.
Last year, you picked the Ravens and the Bucks.
Did I?
Yeah, you said Ravens Bucks.
Oh wow.
Which I mean, if Lamar wasn't hurt, I could have seen the Ravens making it.
Yeah, true. So, but that's what I got. Unfortunately, Pat, I do apologize not letting the Eagles win this Super Bowl, but I have a feeling the Jags, man, this year. I think it's this year. Jags is. I don't want to say a sleeper team because they're good enough to be it, but I think they have the team to possibly go all the way and win it, man.
Yeah, they got a good looking team.
All right, now to go on with our 2 early predictions, like our playoffs. Now we got to do the awards because, at the end of the season, there's awards. So we're going to start with our OPOY, Offensive Player of the Year. Pat, what you got?
Just for strictly offensive?
Yeah.
Oh, man. There were so many names, so many potential possibilities. However, this dude's upward trend is just incredible. So I'm gonna give Offensive Player of the Year to Justin Jefferson.
Again, won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, he might get like 2,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. I don't know. I don't see him taking any steps back. I mean, the whole Vikings team as a whole could, but I don't know. That he just seems ridiculous.
All right, Tank, you want to
Well,
go?
yeah, I mean, I'm willing to go ahead and go. I actually agree with Pat on this, and I think it's going to be Justin Jefferson also.
Wow, you're both saying Jay Jettas.
Yeah, who you got there, Tim?
So
By the way,
I
I'm writing this down so that we can keep track.
actually was thinking Justin Jefferson, and then I was thinking maybe I'll do his counterpart and say Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I decided this is going to be the year that a tight end wins it for the very first time. I think Travis Kelce wins the POY.
Fair enough. He very well could.
I think this will be Travis Kelce's send-off year where he goes off.
I can see
So,
that.
I give it to Kels. All right,
Next.
next up, DPOY. What
Well,
we
Tim,
looking at, Tank?
Since you went last, do you want to go first this time?
All right, I'll go first. Pat, you're going to like this answer. The guy who was overlooked last year, who wasn't even one of the top 3 finalists, I said Hassan Reddick is going to get it again. Hassan Reddick's going to get it this year.
He deserves it so much.
I felt like he was so overlooked last year.
Yeah. And he does that like every year is with a different team, it seems, and he's still getting 10 plus sacks.
Even when Arizona was a crap team, he was doing it with Arizona.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do you got, Pat?
Well, hold on. I want to go in the middle. Hello, stop skipping
Well, I
me.
thought we were just bouncing all over the order.
No.
Okay, then you can go ahead.
Y'all are gonna probably think I'm weird, but I'm going Nick Bosa.
See, I was thinking Bosa, but not with his contract problems going on. That's the reason why I didn't pick Nick Bosa, because of his whole contract dispute. Same reason why I didn't think Chris Jones.
I think the contract is going to fire him up to get what he wants and deserves.
See, I don't know.
I think he's going to show up and show out and say, "Hey, look, this is why I want it, and this is why I deserve it."
This is why you need to pay me that big bucks.
Yep.
All right, Pat.
Give me them bucks. I'm going in a slight different route. I know it's like a passing league and a pass rushing league now, so defensive ends kind of get more looks. But I think a corner will win Defensive Player of the Year, and that corner is Patrick Surtain of the Broncos.
I would like to see that.
I think he's definitely one of the best corners in the league. Even on Sauce,
definitely
too. He looks great young, but so yeah, Surtain. He'll have like a #1 corner season, I think.
All right, now the Rookie of the Year, which it always goes to a quarterback, but I didn't pick a quarterback.
I'm not.
All right, well then lead it off, Tank.
Oh, so I got to lead it off?
Yeah, we're not making you the middle this time.
Damn it. Man, you got me on the spot. I don't think it's going to be a quarterback. I think it's going to honestly be a running back. And I think it's going to be Bijan.
All right, well then I'll go ahead and jump. I said Bijan too.
You also said Bijan. And now that I'm thinking about my pick, if I have the Panthers winning their division, automatically would think Bryce Young would probably be that person. But I'm going to go against all my intuition here. I'm going to say Charbonnet, the running back from Seattle that you're worried about for Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, that's why I was afraid.
What's his name again?
Zach Charbonnet. Yeah. That Pete Carroll loves to run the ball. Seattle, they've used a committee forever because one, their backs couldn't stay healthy, so they had to. But I think he might produce some good touches when he's on the field.
I think the way that they're gonna do it is gonna be like a Kamara Ingram type thing, where Walker is the Kamara and Ingram's the power back who just gets you in the end zone. That's why I didn't want Kenneth. I was afraid that Charbonnet would take all of his touchdowns. That's why another reason I didn't take Aaron Jones this year, because Aaron Jones would take you down the field, but A.J. Dillon would just punch it in. So I would
Yeah.
always get mad about that.
That's what we'll have because I have Kamara in one of my fantasy leagues. But when he's back from suspension, it's like, well, Williams is there for like the 1-2 yard touchdowns. He'll get 30 of them again. Like
I would say because last year he took all those from Swift.
yeah.
But all right, coach of the year, Pat. I already know who you're gonna say. So go ahead.
It's written in the stars, My man Mike Tomlin, never below 500, comes back, proves to all the doubters. I'm still this guy. My team might not be old, but we're in a Super Bowl.
I went with a different route.
All right,
I went with
it?
he said that we're not a one-hit wonder and we didn't just do good last year. And to prove it, we made it to the Super Bowl this year. I got Dougie P.
Oh my gosh.
I think Doug Peterson wins it.
That's who I went with. That's funny because that's who I wrote down that I was going to go with is Doug Peterson.
Well, what was it? At the midway point, you and I both said Brian Daboll last year, so
yeah.
And he ended up winning it. So, all right. The big moment we've all been waiting for. MVP. Pat, you want to take it away? I think I know who you picked.
My MVP?
Your MVP.
You might not know who I pick. It might better suit y'all's predictions because I have your boy Trevor Lawrence winning MVP.
Wow, I thought you would have picked Kenny Pickett.
Not quite that good. The team might be a little better than expected, but I don't think he's quite MVP yet.
Well, Tank, do you want to go in the middle again?
I mean, I can, but yes, I went also with Trevor Lawrence since he's making it to the Super Bowl. I think this is his year to show out, show off.
Well, let's make this a three-peat because I said Trevor Lawrence.
Which is funny because we all this is the first category that we all, picked the same.
Yeah, I also said Trevor Lawrence. I think this is his year to shine. He's got Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram's back in his step. Christian Kirk's looking like he's an amazing receiver again. ETN's going to be healthy. I think this is the year that Trevor Lawrence could do it.
Agreed.
So that means Lawrence wins MVP and Dougie P wins Coach of the Year.
Has that ever happened?
I'm sure it has, but
less like the last in the mid 2000s. I don't think so.
Maybe Coughlin Manning.
No, because Eli's never won an MVP.
He didn't win it. Oh, I'm thinking Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would say Super Bowl.
Yeah. Regular season MVP. Harbaugh Jackson?
No. Are you looking it up, Tim?
I'm trying to think of how to word it.
Just look up two lists in two separate windows.
That's probably what I'll have to. It's giving me NBA. All right, as an NFL coach. National Football League Coach of the Year. All right, now let me look up MVP list. Oh, I should probably put NFL again. It might give me NBA. All right.
It says back from what I'm reading, 2019 had Harbaugh Lamar. 2007 was, in 2010 also was Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, I would say Lamar and Harbaugh is one.
Yeah.
So you did call it, Pat.
So back in 1960 there was Shaw and Van Brocklin. 1964 was the Colts. Oh, by the way, 1960 was the Eagles. 1964 was Colts. Shula Unitas.
2007 was Brady and Belichick again.
Yeah, I was gonna say 67 was the Colts again, or 60. Yeah, 67 was Shula and Unitas again from the Colts. 68 was Colts again, Shula and Morale. 82 Washington, Gibbs and Mosley. 83 Washington, Gibbs and Theismann. 86 Giants was Parcell and Taylor. 99 Rams was Vermeil and Warner. 2007 Patriots, Belichick, Brady. 2010 Belichick, Brady, Patriots. 2015 was the Panthers, Riviera, and Newton. 2019 was Harbaugh and Jackson.
So then, yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
All
I just went
right.
through the whole list.
All right. Well,
That's a
there
good list.
is our 2023 way too early bold predictions.